Hello, everybody. Bryony Zasman here, and thank you so much for joining us today. We have quite a few of you that are returning and have attended a few of our sessions from previous weeks, and then we have some new people as well. So we're going to do the same intro, talk a little bit about what ZOOMstudio is and why we built it, but then we're going to get into website integrations, which is the topic of today's session. So just to cover our agenda, we're going to start by talking a little bit about why we built ZOOMstudio. We're going to talk what it is, who will use it, and then we're going to create some content. After that, we're going to talk a little bit about the website integration options. Now, I looked at the attendee list and I do see there's some distributors that are joining us today, which is awesome. But just a note that this is geared towards suppliers. However, you absolutely can use these tools as well. So please stay. And for anybody that would like some additional information afterwards or a one-on-one demo, we'd be more than happy to meet with you. So just reach out to us and we can set up a time. All right, so why did we build ZOOMstudio? Just to give you some background, Zoom Catalog has been in the promotional product industry for 14 years now. We initially launched the company because we recognized that our industry had a problem with print catalogs. For those of you that were in the industry at the time, I'm sure you will remember that distributors were getting thousands of catalogs shipped to them every year. Distributors would get these catalogs and have to organize them into filing cabinets. And it was just a really difficult way to find share products, but that was how it was done. It was also very expensive for suppliers and something that you couldn't really measure. So we wanted to build a place where distributors could go online to find all the supplier catalogs in one place, to be able to search them by keyword, share them, and easily get those catalogs out. Since then, we have evolved quite a lot, and we've introduced some other products like Zoom Custom, which allows you to add branding to supplier catalogs. However, our newest product is called ZOOMstudio. So ZOOMstudio was born out of the digital transformation we are seeing in the industry. Our industry is considered a little bit behind the times, but it is rapidly catching up. It is really important for both suppliers and distributors to embrace technology to ensure that they're keeping up with business. A lot of manual processes that were considered the norm are no longer okay and actually becoming a liability. And we need to look at technology and ways in which we can do things more rapidly, more accurately, and get what we need out to customers while making the sales cycle smooth. So when we look at, for example, the print catalog, if you're a supplier here, you know how much work and effort goes into getting a catalog published online. It starts all the way down to getting the photography done, getting the product selection chosen, having a designer go into a platform like Illustrator or InDesign, laying out the products, copying and pasting product information, trying to find the right resolution images. I mean, the list goes on. It can take weeks, if not months, to get a catalog up. Now, our next point is volatile supply chains, which plays into this. And the issue with that is once you get your catalog done and it's published, the next day, it's out of date. We're seeing more than ever suppliers struggling to keep their content accurate and up to date because their pricing is changing so much, as well as product availability. They're discontinuing items, adding new items, colors are becoming unavailable. So suppliers have to rethink how they design their catalogs, and some of this information is actually left out of the design because it is fluctuating so much. With ZOOMstudio, our idea was to make this more simple. And you'll hear this a few times throughout this demo, but we connect to your product data, which becomes the heart of ZOOMstudio. Now, when you're creating something, whether it's a lookbook, catalog, flyer, or presentation, we're pulling your data from what is available today to ensure those pieces are accurate and up to date. So I already explained volatile supply chains was absolutely one of the reasons why we needed to build ZOOMstudio. We wanted a faster, quicker, easier way to get these pieces done, these marketing and sales pieces done in a way that were accurate and that could remain up to date over time. The other thing is that buyers' expectations are changing. The way we buy products, find products, market them, sell them, all of that is changing due to technology. The days of sending a print catalog over to an end buyer are kind of a thing of the past. Maybe some like it, but generally people are going online to find products. They want to be able to place the order quickly, be able to track their orders and get that order in their hands. With these changing expectations, they're also starting to expect ways to market your products easily, to get presentations quickly. They're expecting that your product information is accurate and up to date. And these things can be done with ZOOMstudio because ZOOMstudio has been built to make the whole process of creating content simple. So you can actually meet the expectations of distributors and end buyers by giving them tools to be able to sell your products that they can use or that you can use to get this content done and out quickly. And then lastly, the growing custom needs of distributors. We introduced Zoom Custom quite a few years ago, and the idea was that distributors didn't want to send a supplier branded catalog out. They wanted their branding on there and they wanted their information on there as well. But things have evolved and distributors have even more custom needs. They not only want their logo on the catalog, but they want to mark up pricing or hide certain items. They want to choose the lifestyle shots. But these requests can be really difficult to fulfill without technology. We do see suppliers today fulfilling some of these requests, and they're doing so by relying on their design teams. So these requests will go to the design teams who then have to work on them, and it can take days or weeks to get the piece back to the distributor. However, with Zoom Custom or ZOOMstudio, it is so fast and easy to put something together that you can fulfill all the demand that you get. In fact, you can use it to generate new demand as well, because it's so quick to use that you can start proactively creating content for your customers. We covered this in a different demo day session where we talked about using ZOOMstudio for sales and marketing. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, we have those sessions recorded. So reach out to us and we'd be happy to share them. Oops. So what is ZOOMstudio? ZOOMstudio is the industry's smartest, easiest design tool, enabling you to create custom content at scale. So we've basically created a tool that anybody could use by making it extremely user-friendly. It also ensures that anything that is created with ZOOMstudio looks amazing. So you don't have to worry about a sales rep or a distributor creating something that isn't on brand or isn't something you wouldn't want out there. We're going to get into a really quick demo of the tool, so you'll see a little bit about this, but it is a tool that allows you to populate products, images, edit product details, etc., to build catalogs, lookbooks, flyers, presentations, and more. So who uses ZOOMstudio? ZOOMstudio is such a powerful tool that really anybody on your team or distributors could use it. As mentioned, we covered how your marketing team could use ZOOMstudio, but they can use it to make catalogs and flyers. They could make customizable templates for new product lines. Your sales team can use it to create presentations on the fly or edit flyers for customers. Your design team could do it when they get a request to put a new catalog together for a new line that's being launched, or if your design team is wanting to come up with a sequence of flyers for an upcoming product launch. They can use the tool to be able to do it quickly and easily. So they don't have to copy and paste product data and use InDesign and create pieces that are static once published. And then, of course, distributors. So today we're going to focus on adding ZOOMstudio to your website. And the main reason you're going to want to do that is to empower distributors to create what they need. So we're going to touch on this a bit more. We also have an upcoming session about empowering distributors to create the content they need. So register for that webinar if you're interested. We'll give the dates and times of it at the end of the session. So we've already covered quite a few of the benefits of ZOOMstudio, but just to reiterate, first of all, you're going to create and capture more demand. We know as suppliers, you're getting requests every day from distributors who need a custom presentation or who love your catalog, but they want to remove this product or mark up the pricing. You can actually fulfill these requests quickly and easily or allow distributors to do so with ZOOMstudio. And as we covered in our sales session, you can use it to capture or create demand as well. So creating lookbooks proactively for a customer you know has an upcoming event, or creating pieces to allow your reps to be able to easily customize it when they get a new customer or a lead. So you can now create and capture more demand. ZOOMstudio also comes with a powerful dashboard that you can invite your team to. When you invite your team into the dashboard, you're able to collaborate better by seeing what each other are creating, what's working, what's not working, be able to share designs, etc. So the collaboration in the tool is a really powerful piece that isn't available with other traditional ways of creating content, whether it's using InDesign or putting links into an email. Now you have everything consolidated into one dashboard where you can collaborate. And not only that, you can make better decisions because you now have the insight and the data to see what is working and what is not. You can design more without spending more. This is a common one for suppliers. They want to add more catalogs to Zoom Catalog, or they want to offer more suppliers for more vertical markets, or have more marketing pieces available. But with a design team, you are limited by what they can achieve in a day, especially when you're using InDesign or a product that does take time to get it set up and specialized skills. Now with ZOOMstudio, because anybody can use it and you do not have to be a designer to create something that looks great, anyone can use it to create more, meaning you can design more without spending more. And then as you've gotten already, you can create this content in minutes, not hours. So what traditionally will take weeks or months to put together, you can now do really quickly and easily in ZOOMstudio. So I'm going to give you a quick tour. In our previous sessions, we've done this tour a little bit more extensively, but we have a lot to cover today. So I'm going to give a really quick walkthrough of the tool. If you want to see a more in-depth tour, reach out to us, or we can send the previous sessions. So I'm going to jump over to ZOOMstudio. So I actually pre-launched this. So just to explain, if you decide to come on board with ZOOMstudio, we're going to set you up with your own studio. It'll have your own link, and you can now send your team and distributors in here. When they enter, they can choose a couple of different options. They can go to their previous designs, they can use templates, or what I'm going to show you now is how they can use smart layouts to make something quickly. So you'll start by giving your design a name. If applicable, we can choose the currency. And then by default, it's going to be the user's logo. So I am logged in as a PCNA team member, so I have the PCNA logo. If I am a distributor, I will have my logo here. And of course, I can switch that. So if I am a PCNA sales rep and I know I want to make this for a distributor, I can actually use their logo instead of the PCNA logo. And you can upload and save different logos here, as well as share them with your team. Once you're in the tool, you'll see it looks very basic, and this is by design. We wanted this tool to be so simple to use that anybody could create something that looks great really fast. So on the left, you'll see we have our pages. This is where I can add more pages, rearrange them, etc. In the middle, we have our page, and then on top of the page, we have what we call our smart layout. So this is just 4 products and a logo, but we do have a layout library, which allows me to be able to change the page layout depending on what I want to create. Now, we're not going to get to it today, but you can make lookbooks as well as presentations, so either single pages or spreads. If you want to see how easy it is to make lookbooks, let us know. We can do a demo. So for this one, I'm going to do a really quick layout. I want to present 2 items with a nice lifestyle shot. So I chose my new layout, and all I need to do is click on each block and add the content. So in the image block, when I click it, I get my image library. I have a few different options. One is I can upload any images that I have available. These will save to my account, so when I come back here later on, I can reuse them. We also have a shared library, which means that as a supplier, you can add all your lifestyle shots, your catalog images, so that users can choose to use those in their designs as well. And we've also partnered with Unsplash, which is a library of stock images, meaning there are thousands of amazing royalty-free images I can search and use. So I'm going to find some sunglasses images, pick the one that I like, and I can pop that in there. Next, I have 2 product blocks. So all I need to do is click on each one, search for a product, and add it to my design. So this is where we are going to populate your product data. Of course, these are PCNA's products, and users will be able to search by keyword, product ID, product name, etc. We can browse the products available, choose the correct color variation, and add it to the canvas with up-to-date, accurate information. So we'll pop in another one here. So now I have my 2 sunglasses, and I can keep going. So I can add as many pages as I want using different layouts to build out the exact presentation that I need. I can also edit the product details if I want to mark up pricing, switch out the product image, or turn on other information. I can do that as well. Now you can see in here we have what we call the sidebar, and this is a solution we implemented so that a user can see any other information associated with this product that does not fit on the page. So you can see on my page, I don't have the description or the additional colors available, but you want to be able to share that information with your customer. So you can choose to turn that on in the sidebar, and what that means is once the piece is published and shared, the user can click on a product to view more information. So I'm going to publish my design, share it. I instantly get a link that I can now easily share. So I can take this link and pop it in an email, post it on social, put it on my website, and whoever is viewing it can click on these items to view all additional information, the pricing, description, product images, and so forth. And then I can always go back to my dashboard and make a copy of this if I want to customize it for someone else. I could make edits if I've shared it and actually want to change out one of the products or change pricing. So I have complete control over it. Not only that, in the dashboard, I can see when it's viewed. So if I've shared it with my customer, I will know exactly when they have opened it and clicked on it. I'll also know if they've shared it on and how many times it's been viewed overall. So that is our really quick walkthrough of ZOOMstudio. Again, there's other features and functionality that we'd love to show you if you're interested in seeing more. So reach out to us and we can do that demo. But because our focus is adding ZOOMstudio to your website, I'm going to jump back and get into that. Okay, so as I said, we are covering exploring ZOOMstudio integration options for supplier websites. So let's talk about the benefits of adding a tool like ZOOMstudio to your website. First and foremost, you're going to be able to empower distributors with the tools they need to sell your products. Gone are the days where your website is just a catalog of products. You need to make your website something useful for distributors so they can easily sell and market your products. There are quite a few other tools that we've seen out there, a lot of them coming from Zoom Catalog, like having your digital catalogs on your site or customizable flyers with Zoom Custom. But adding ZOOMstudio to your website means they can create presentations or lookbooks with the products they're presenting quickly and easily. By giving them a tool like ZOOMstudio, they don't have to rely on either asking you guys to make a presentation or copying and pasting links from your website into an email where the end user now has to click through a million links to see the product options. They also don't have to now send your whole website over, which we know more and more distributors do not want to do because they don't want to show all those product options. They really want to show the ones that are relevant to their customer. So you are going to be empowering, enabling your distributors when they need it most. Also, I've mentioned it a few times, but ZOOMstudio is built to be extremely intuitive so that anyone can use it. If somebody could use a website, they can use ZOOMstudio. So you're adding intuitive tools to your website, allowing your website visitors to create what they need easily. Also, with ZOOMstudio, when users create something, it's something they can easily update and edit if they need. So if they create a presentation and need to edit it, they can go back in and make the changes, as opposed to if they are maybe copying emails, links into an email or going into like a PowerPoint and setting something up. With this, they can jump back into their design and make the edits. You also get to track and gain insight that you otherwise don't have. I know a lot of suppliers have tried to create PDF sell sheets of the products on their website. So these are static PDFs they're uploading to each product page. And those can be extremely difficult because if your product information changes, you have to keep track of that, have a designer update the PDF, get the PDF rehosted online, update your website. It can honestly become a nightmare. And once somebody takes that PDF and shares it, you don't know. You don't know that it's being used. You don't know if it's being shared. With ZOOMstudio, you're going to see exactly who is creating what and how those pieces are doing. This can become really helpful information for sales. You can use it for as leads. So if you have a new website visitor who created a piece that has never bought from you before, you'll see what they're presenting, and it's an opportunity to reach out and maybe send them some samples. So there's a lot you can do from this insight that you are now going to have by implementing a tool that allows tracking. Also, something so simple, but with ZOOMstudio, the pieces that are created are published as a link. That means users don't have to download a heavy PDF onto their computer and have to attach that to an email when sending it to their customer. Those attachments can end your distributors up in their customers' spam inboxes, and you can't track them. So by getting a link to share a design means that it's super fast and easy to share. It's going to work on all devices, including computers and phones, and it's completely trackable, so you'll know how things are performing. And then lastly, one that we just want to reiterate so many times because it is so powerful, the pieces are accurate and up to date because it's connected to your live product data. So for example, with our PDF example, when you're on a product page and you have a static PDF, that pricing, you don't know if it's accurate. However, with ZOOMstudio and the integrations I'm going to show you, it's created at that moment the user needs it, meaning it's pulling the pricing that is available at that moment. So your pieces are accurate and up to date, and people can create and share with confidence. So now we're going to talk about the integration options. There's two main options that we offer with ZOOMstudio, and one is very simple and quick. The other requires a little bit of development, but is extremely powerful. Depending on your resources and how your website is built, you'll choose the option that works best for you. If you're not sure, definitely reach out to us. We'd be happy to take a look with you and figure out what is going to be the best solution for you to add ZOOMstudio to your website. The first option is to use links. We're going to show you some examples of this, but when we set you up on ZOOMstudio, you get your own company link to your own studio that has your own product. That's the link you're going to be able to share with your team and your customers to allow them into the tool to create what they need. The second option is through our ZOOMstudio one-click API. So this is an API that you can implement throughout your site in different ways to empower users to create presentations and catalogs with a single click. We're going to get into this a little bit more, but it is extremely powerful and honestly really exciting because we see different ways in which suppliers are using it. So let's start with links and we'll show you some examples. So our recommendation, if you are going to add ZOOMstudio to your website by link, is to start by building a simple landing page for the tool. So on your website, you might have a page already for your catalogs or your flyers. We recommend adding one more page that explains a little bit about the benefit of ZOOMstudio and why a distributor would want to use it. So something like create the marketing and sales materials you need, choose our products, customize the look, and add your branding. You could include a video and some features. We have some best practices. We have a page with best practices we can share with you so you can help decide how you're going to design that page. So once you have your landing page on your website, all you're going to do is add a button and put your ZOOMstudio link there. So it'll be a call to action, click to get started or click to start designing. Now click that button and it'll launch your ZOOMstudio. So you can get that up and running quickly. Then we also recommend adding that landing page to your main website navigation. So most suppliers already have an option on their website for sales tools or marketing tools. And under that usually are links to the catalogs and flyers. That's where you can add build your own or ZOOMstudio or whatever you want to call it so they can visit the landing page. I'll show you what I mean with some examples in a minute. So just to reiterate, you're going to add a landing page. You're going to include it in the main navigation of your website. We also recommend promoting it on your homepage, if not permanently, at least for a short time. So users start to become aware that you have this amazing new functionality available. So maybe doing a nice website banner or a static image on your homepage. And we have some images that you can use, or we'd be happy to help you set one up as well. And then there's another way you can use these links, and that's by linking your ZOOMstudio in other relevant areas of your site, like your catalogs page, your flyers page, but I'm going to come back to that. So let's jump in and take a look at some examples. First, to start, I'm going to show you a mock-up website we built in order to demo how this could work. So pretend this is a supplier website. Moose is a made-up company we made up for this demo with some products. So you have your website and you have your products on here. You might have some links to your catalogs and flyers. And as we said, in your main menu, you want to add a link to your ZOOMstudio. In this example, we called it the Design Studio. So when the user clicks on that, they're able to view a landing page that, of course, you'll design. So it'll have your company look and feel to it and your messaging. I already mentioned it, but we have a document that has best practices and some copy you can use to be able to put this page together quickly. But the most important thing is that you have a clear call to action so the user can click and launch your studio so they can jump in and start creating exactly what they need. So this is just an example of what it could look like, but depending on your website, it might work a little different. So I want to show you 3 different supplier websites that have implemented landing pages to link their ZOOMstudio to. So the first one is J. Charles. You can see J. Charles has a regular website navigation, and they have a sales tools option here. When I click on this, I get 2 options, flyers and catalogs, and this new build your own. This goes to the landing page they've set up for ZOOMstudio. So they have a message about what the tool is and some highlights of features. And then most importantly, the call to action. This will link to their ZOOMstudio. So if I click on this, I can now create catalogs, presentations, lookbooks, and flyers with the J. Charles products. Gold Bond has done something similar. So on their website, a regular website navigation, they have the services tab. And under here, again, catalogs, flyers, video, but they have build your own flyer. Just a small note, you can build more than flyers. So if you're doing a page like this, we recommend maybe saying marketing materials because it is just so much more than flyers. But I wanted to show you this example because they have a beautiful hero image. They have a call to action and then highlight some of the features. So again, if I click design now, I'm going to the Gold Bond ZOOMstudio and I'm able to create pieces with their products. And lastly, Alpha Broder. So Alpha Broder has done something quite unique. So they have their resource center on their site, and in their resource center, they have some different tools. Their digital lounge, this apparel tool, and they are calling ZOOMstudio their sales builder. So if I go over here, they have quite a robust landing page. They've included a video, examples of what you can create, some highlights of the features, and of course, the call to action. So again, if I am ready to go, I click start designing and that will take me to their ZOOMstudio. So 3 examples of how you can use your ZOOMstudio on your website or your ZOOMstudio link on your website. You can have this up and running really quickly and easily. If you need help with setting up your landing page, just reach out to us. We're more than happy to help with that. So that's how you can use the link on your website. I did mention in an earlier slide, I'm going to jump back here, is that you can also include it in other relevant areas of your website. What I mean by that is if you have a page on your site with your flyers, for example, I'm going to go to PCNA, and you have your flyers here, this would be a great place to also have a button for ZOOMstudio. So you can have all your regular flyers that you put on your site, but also have an option where it says create your flyer from scratch or build your own. And that could go to your ZOOMstudio as well. So you can use your ZOOMstudio link in multiple places, ensuring that distributors find it when they need it. So this example here, PCNA has their blank flyer slot at the beginning of their flyers. This goes to their ZOOMstudio. And you could do the same on a catalogs page. So you could have all your catalogs there, but maybe a button at the top that says, can't find what you need, click here to build your own catalog. So lots of great ways in which you can use the link in different areas of your website. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the API. So the API does require some development. It's not a complicated API. So if you have the ability to implement this, you should be able to get it up and running really quickly. We have a team that is more than happy to help. We can connect you with one of our developers as well. So we call it the ZOOMstudio one-click API. And what that is an API that allows your website visitors to instantly create a presentation with either a single product or a list of products. Now, it's kind of a broad definition, and that's because this API can be used in so many different ways. Today on this demo, we're going to show you 2 main ways in which we're seeing it used, and then discuss a couple of other creative ways that we've seen it used as well. So the first use case for the one-click API is on your product pages. So you'll remember from earlier in this presentation, I talked a little bit about how some suppliers will have PDF sell sheets on their product pages. The goal of these PDFs is that a distributor viewing an item has something they can share. so they don't have to send the end user to the website. Now, we've already gone over why those PDFs are problematic and really hard to keep up to date and manage. And using the one-click API to supplement that is going to be the perfect solution. So I'm going to jump over to our example website and show you what I mean. So this, again, is not a real website, just a demo, but I can go and browse products. And when I see a product I want, I can go to its product page. So this is the product details page. And on here, I'm able to see the colors and the pricing, the name, and I really want to share this item. My usual option is to copy and paste this link and send it in an email, but we know that more and more distributors are not wanting to send their customers to the supplier website. So what you can do is add a button to each of your product pages and use the API so that when it is clicked, this product ID in the background without the user ever knowing is going to be sent over to ZOOMstudio Smart Layouts. Our tool is going to lay that product out on a presentation and instantly send the user back a link to a presentation that they can share. So I click the button and right away I get a link back to a presentation with that item and the details. So that is the one-click name. It takes one click and I have a presentation and I can share the item. So I can take my link and I can send it on. Now, just a disclaimer, this is a really basic looking flyer, but it can look however we need. We can do custom layouts, we can do custom branding, we can show specific information depending on your needs. But you'll see, first of all, my logo is here. So for the distributor, it's going to be instantly branded with their logo, and it's going to have the up-to-date, accurate product information. So all I need to do now is grab this link and send it on. I have a presentation that was instantly generated. It's already branded that I can send to my customer. Now, if I want to edit it, I could do that as well. So I can simply click Edit Design, and that will open it up in the ZOOMstudio editor where I can make changes. So maybe I want to add an additional cover page. So I'm going to go ahead and add a single page here and move it to the top. And I'm going to change the layout to a cover page. So I can maybe add a title here, make up a name, and then maybe add an image. So we can go to Unsplash and search for some nice photography. So I've added a nice cover, I have my product, and then I could say, actually on this page, I wanted to have one additional or two additional products. So I'm going to change this layout as well. So let's go with 3 products here, and I want to add 2 more. So you can see how quick and easy it is for me to be able to customize this. So now I have my presentation done. I can edit pricing, I can do whatever I want, publish, and that link updates so I can share it on. So as you can see, I can either get just a single cell sheet, I have the ability to edit it, markup pricing, or I can make it really pretty and I can add lifestyle shots and branding and additional products. So using the one-click API on your product pages is a really powerful way to give your customers the tool they need to share your items. So the second most common way that the API is used is against a list of products. So this is where if you have a favorites tool on your website, a shopping cart, a way for users to put products into a folder so they can save them for later, anywhere you have a list of items, you can implement the one-click API. So using the favorites example, if you have on your site a way for a user to save some products while they're browsing, there is going to be a place where they can then go view that list. On that list, you're going to put a button to create presentation, and it's going to act the same way I described before. So when that button is clicked, those products that are in that list are going to be sent over to ZOOMstudio Smart Layouts. Our tool is going to lay it out in a presentation or catalog and instantly send the user back a link to a presentation with all the items that are in that list. So they can instantly get a presentation with multiple products of their choice. We'll go back to our example site here to show you how that works. And then I'm actually going to show you a live example on a supplier website. So I'm on my site. Imagine I'm browsing, I'm clicking on products that I'm marking as my favorites. And now I can go over to my favorites list. So I have a few products here. And you can see I have a create design button. This is where the API is. So when I click on this button, those products in that list are sent over to our tool. The presentation is instantly created, and I instantly get back my link to be able to share this. So now I can take that link and send it to my customer. Those products are laid out in a presentation with my branding. Now, again, this can look different. We can include different information or different branding elements. So we can talk a little bit more about templates. But the idea is that these products were laid out for me. The product information was pulled from the database right away, so it's accurate and up to date. And I have a simple way that I can now share this on. The cool thing for you guys as suppliers is you're also going to get insight and tracking. So you're going to see exactly who created what products were included, and then how often they were viewed. So you're going to be able to see what your customers are doing and what they're presenting. So we can create a presentation from favorites. Now, the same goes for a shopping cart. If you have a way for users to add products to a cart, you could have a button that says create presentation, and it could create a presentation with the items added there. We also have some suppliers who have a tool on their website where users can put products into different folders. I'm going to show you that live example shortly. And you could have a button on each of those folders so they can create a presentation with the products they've chosen to include in each folder. So I'm going to go to the PCNA website and show you the API in action with lists. So with their site, you can go through and browse products and add products to what they call projects. So they're basically folders where I can save products I've found interesting or want to present. So I'm going to go to a ceramic mug section here. And when I go to the product, you'll see on every product, I can add it to my project. So just a disclaimer, I have a lot of projects here just because we've been testing and trying things out, but I can create a new folder if I wanted. So I could say, ideas for event or ideas for whatever company, and create a collection of items. Once I have my products added to my collection, I can go to my projects and see these different folders of items. This is where the API has been implemented. So you can see I have these different projects. I can find the one that I want to share. So I'm going to go to Bry's product, and they have this little share icon. This is the button they've implemented, the one-click API. So when I click this, right now the products in that project are being sent to ZOOMstudio. And now you can see instantly I get a link back, and I now have my link to be able to share my presentation with my customer. You can see the look and feel of this presentation is a bit different. As I mentioned, these can be customized. It has the PCNA branding, but I could actually log in or go back and edit and add my own logo if I wanted. And you can see there's quite a bit of functionality here. So I can also click on these items to view more information. I can click to view on the product on PCNA.com. And if there were more than 4 products, I'd be able to scroll through the pages. So I get this beautiful presentation with the items I've found on the PCNA website with a single click. And again, it's customizable too. So if I edit design, I can go in and I can turn on and off things. I can hide the view on PCNA.com buttons. I can mark up pricing or change the order of items, add a cover page, all of that good stuff. So a lot of great ways to customize. But if I'm just wanting to get these products to my customer, I get my presentation link and I send it off and I'm ready to go. So as you can see, the API can be used in quite a few different ways. The main gist of it is anywhere that you have a single product or list of products, you can put the API to instantly create a presentation. So with that in mind, another way in which you could use the API is if you have a collection of products on your website. So for example, if you have all of your ceramic mugs grouped together, or your holiday products or your best sellers, you could put a button somewhere here that says create presentation, and it could create a multi-page presentation with all of those items. Now that list on your website is probably dynamic. Like if you got a new mug, you're going to add it here. If you're going to discontinue an item, it'll come off. And the great thing about it is when that button is clicked, it's going to match the list of products on the site. So the user is able to get exactly what they need. It's not static and something you have to manually update. It's created on the spot with the data that is available at that moment in time. Another use case is if you have a comparison tool on your website where a user can actually click and compare a couple different products together. you could implement a button here that says create presentation, and that presentation could lay the products onto a design with them side by side with whatever details are relevant to compare them, so the user can share that as well. So lots of different ways in which this can be used, and we keep getting new ideas from our customers on how they're going to use it against the lists of products on their website. But as you can see, the API is really powerful. And one of the reasons it's so powerful is because you're putting the tool in the places where the users need it most. They're able to get to the tool at that very moment that they're thinking, I need to share these items. So the API can be a really wonderful tool to help empower your team, empower your distributors, and not have them have to manually have to contact them and have your team manually create these pieces for them. And then just to reiterate again, we're connected to your product data, so they can share with confidence, the pieces are accurate, and they are up to date. So those are the ways in which you can use the one-click API. Just to recap really quickly, there's two main ways in which you can add ZOOMstudio to your website as a supplier. One is with a landing page and adding your ZOOMstudio link. Really quick and easy. Honestly, you could do it in half an hour. And we're happy to help with it as well. Or you can use the API if you want to do more of a robust solution. And we have some great team members that are willing to help as well. So if you're unsure what is best suited for you and your company and how your website is built, definitely reach out. We can look at it together, do a little bit of an audit, and then make a recommendation on how best to get this on your site. But no matter how you add it, the bottom line is you are adding value to your website, turning your website from a simple catalog of products into a useful tool that is going to allow distributors to sell and market your products more easily. It's going to reduce the requests that are coming into your team for custom pieces, and it's going to open the door for people to be able to create and sell more. So hopefully that was helpful. I know it's a lot of information, but really it just comes down to two options on how you want to implement. And I'd be happy to take some questions now on the different implementation options or anything else that you have questions about. Somebody asked, are you able to add a shopping cart function? So we don't have a shopping cart function. You'd be adding the API to an existing shopping cart, but we have some solutions and ideas for that if you don't have one already. So reach out to us and we can definitely chat to you and figure out how you can get the API implemented if you don't have a favorites list or a shopping cart. We see somebody asking how they can connect their products. So when we set you up a ZOOMstudio, we do an integration. There's little to no work on your end. Basically, you choose one of three integration methods. We either connect to your promo standards, we have an API you can implement, or we can use your spreadsheets. We get connected, get you up and running, and you can go live. So it's really, really simple. And then we are constantly refreshing and running updates to ensure that information is accurate and up to date as well. So what is the pricing for ZOOMstudio? So the pricing for ZOOMstudio is dependent on your SKU count. So if you want to get pricing from us, just reach out and we'd be happy to get you a quote. How much technical skills do I need or my team need? So to use ZOOMstudio, you really don't need any. If you've used a website, you can use ZOOMstudio. Our team is completely dedicated to ensuring that any feature and functionality we add to the tool, we make it very intuitive and simple. So as you saw when I was in here creating, there wasn't much I could do around moving these into a spot that made it not aligned or changing colors to make it look crazy. All of the design decisions are made by the tool. So all I need to do as a user is choose what products I want. And that allows anybody to be able to create what they want, publish, and share. So there's a question about analytics. So the dashboard is an admin dashboard where you can go into, as well as your team can go into, to see what's being created by who, when they're being shared. So that is a really powerful tool, not only just for you overall to see how the tool is performing, but to see what types of designs are working, which distributors are most engaged, which reps are creating the most content. So just to reiterate on that, today we focused about website integration, which I know is maybe a little bit more technical, not as fun as the other sessions, maybe. I think it's fun, but with the other sessions, we talked about how sales reps can use this to quickly create a presentation on the fly while on the phone, while how marketing teams could build out an entire catalog in a couple of minutes, how you can use them as editable templates so you can allow your distributors to make them their own. So if you're interested in all of that, definitely reach out. We can do a demo or get you those recordings. What is the cost for the API? Good question. So the API is actually completely free if you bought ZOOMstudio. So there's no additional cost if you want to do linking or API, how many places you need to use the API, all of that is included. So no additional cost to implement the API if you are interested in using it. So somebody's asked about the layout, so I do want to address that. You saw my PCNA example when I published the design, it had the PCNA look and feel. So in the tool, we have some basic layouts that you can choose from, and you can use any of these layouts with the API on your site. So you can have pieces that publish as the 3 products in a row or just a single product. And then in addition to that, we also have an option for you to have us build you your own custom layout. So if you want us to build your own custom layout, you can choose everything from what size the products are to what product information is shown on the page versus the sidebar, if there's any branding or backgrounds or colors, all of that stuff. So we would actually just get an idea of what you want and then build it out for you. So if there's a certain way that you like building your presentations, or you want your team to adhere to always creating presentations with certain disclaimers, we can build templates for that to ensure that consistency. All right, I don't see any other questions. There are some about pricing and getting set up. So for those of you who are interested, reach out for a one-on-one demo. We can get you a quote and get you up and running really quickly. Right now we are focused on building virtual samples into the tool, which is really exciting. So a distributor or an end user, or a sales rep or a rep could upload a logo and it would apply to all the products. So if you're interested in that, reach out. We can talk to you a little bit more about what we're doing there, but we'd love to get you up and running. We can make your content much more simple for 2023. We can help you empower your distributors and your team as well. So if you have any questions, reach out to us. We're going to be at Expo as well. We're going to be doing a live demo day there. So we'd love for you to come by and say hi or watch the demo day in person. And then January 24th, we're going to be doing another demo day session about enabling distributors. This one's going to be focused on providing customizable catalogs and flyers and templates for them. Really exciting content there, not as technical as today. So if you are interested, sign up for that. And then we're going to be announcing other sessions, as this is going to be an ongoing event, the demo day. So I appreciate you all joining us today, and we hope to see you at a future session or at Expo. You can reach out to us at hello@zoomcatalog.com. You can also find our phone number on the website if you'd like to give us a call, but we hope to hear from you, and we appreciate you all joining us. Thank you so much.